Alright, let's get started. Hello everyone, my name is Shoot and welcome back to some more REPO solo. This is going to be part 2 of the walkthrough, where I cover levels 3 and 4. I am using my new OBS settings from last part, or from the last video, on level 12 PB, so hopefully everything looks and flows well. If there's frame drops or anything that looks wrong, let me know, and I will try to find better settings, but this seems to have better frame rate and consistency for me, though I could be wrong. So, there's lots to talk about, but a lot of that was going to be for the store at the end of the level, so we'll save that stuff for there. Otherwise, it's going to be putting into practice what I've talked about already, so immediately open the map, see what we have coming up. A lot of information, even though we don't know the exact rooms. We can see that we have maybe a little bit of branching up ahead. You can kind of see, yeah, you can see the corners of some levels coming up. So I would say levels 1 and 2 are easy, levels 3 and 4 are more intermediate or medium. The main difference that I would classify is because of the increase in quota. You can see top right, it's 24,000 per extraction, which is like 2 or 3 times what we had for level 2. And the reason it's so much more, even though it's the same number of extractions as level 2, is because we're dealing with bulky valuables from now on. So levels 3 and upward is bulky valuables. I classify a bulky valuable as any object or valuable that rolls at 10k or above. So this includes your alchemy cubes, your griffins, your staves, your boxed staves on the academy. This includes your pianos, paintings, and statues and skeletons on Manor. This includes your X-ray machines and fossils and barrels on the station. Bases are more of like a medium valuable. So you will from now on be dealing with those, and that's also why I hammered the feather drone so much, and why you really want to be able to afford it if you see it in your first 2 shops. Trying to secure these items without feather drone, or 0G drone, or even the indestructible drone, is far more painful. So, because I'm so close to the truck, I'm going to take this vase directly to the truck. I think that's the best play right now. Yeah, you'll be dealing with bulky valuables from now on. And we had a particularly high roll. I would say that like 20k is around average for level 3. So 24 is a good step up. These ambient sounds, by the way, are going crazy. So left seems to be a dead end, so I'm going to check it first. Oh, second base, nice. Yep, little office. Get a little couple small items. That's fine. And just to show our upgrades, we have 2 health, 1 stamina, 1 speed, and 2 range right now. Which is very nice. And we might as well just do what we did again. So I'm going to go ahead and actually first open up my door. I like having my sight lines open so that if something is coming... Alright, there's a duck. The more you know. So I can see what's coming. Whatever. I do have a grenade. The question is, do I kill duck now? Ducks are not worth that much, sadly. I think they're like 3 to 4.5k at most, maybe even less than that. And they're pretty weak as far as health goes. A grenade will definitely one-shot them. I'm going to try to hold off. Part of whether ducks are a problem depends on your stats. If you have enough stamina and enough sprint speed, you can generally outpace and outlast them until they transform back. I don't think I have enough combined to handle that. So I want to be really careful about triggering them. Though I do have the extra health to survive longer as well. And I don't want to stand for too long because I'll start jumping too much. It's bad news. So 2 vases secured. Alright. And I'm pretty sure I saw right inside, yeah, a box. So I think the box might be the only generic bulky valuable in the game, as in it spawns on all of the maps. This is a server rack, is what I call it. And this is unique to this map. This is also very valuable. 19.5, this is 19.5 as well. So yeah, 2 in the same room is kind of crazy for level 3, but we did roll high, so not that surprising overall. I'm gonna go ahead and check right. I'm gonna open out. Check real quick. Dead end. Couple small valuables. Look behind just in case. Some enemy sounds and footsteps are either really quiet or don't exist. Huntsman is mainly who I'm talking about, so keeping an eye out is really important. Don't just rely on your ears. I'm going to go ahead and try and take these back. Well, I'm going to explore first. This is a case where I think I should go ahead and scout the map, because it'll be very hard to get both of these into the extraction point before it closes, and I risk having one of them destroyed, which is a lot of money to lose out on. So I'm going to see if I can route out how much farther or how much harder it would be to get it to the other extraction point instead. Small items. Check in here real quick. Not usually anything very valuable. Just kind of scanning everything. You can see enemies spawned in this room. Extraction should be the very last room, it seems, in this layout. And again, another big item. X-ray machine, or whatever you want to call it. And lo and behold, there is this unopened door, mysteriously. Beautiful. Now, I know Duck. I don't know my other entities yet. So there is some concern that I'll have Huntsman. But for now, that's interesting. It's rather strange. For now, I think it's fine to go ahead and move stuff around. I have another bulky valuable. The fossil kind of thing. Some smalls. Nothing in here. Check the trunk, I think. Nothing. I wonder if you can hide in there. I should test that sometime. And I'm always checking the door just to see if something spawned and comes through. Yeah, plenty of stuff on this map. Now, if you don't have Feather Drone by this point, which is possible, it's only like a semi-common spawn between your first 2 shops. If you don't have Feather Drone, ideally you might try and buy the 0G drone as a substitute. I don't like it as much for carrying objects. I think it feels kind of awkward, and it's too floaty. But it does have the added utility of being able to lift enemies and put them into pits or smack them against walls, albeit with a very short duration. And the third alternative is the indestructible drone. It will not help you carry anything, but it will give you the freedom to kind of do what you need to do with items. And there are certain techniques that you can do with them as a result of that you couldn't otherwise, due to the item being destroyed from the damage. So Trudge and Duck is not bad at all. I like Trudge a lot. Trudge is slow. Trudge is simple. So we've scouted the map. We know where everything is. And we've got a general plan. These items are much easier to take to the close extraction point right here. Might be coming all the way in here, in which case, gonna be a little minute. That's fine. Trudge is pretty scary. He deals a lot of damage. I believe it's more than 100. So even though I'm at 140, he could probably one-shot me. One day I'll test how much he does exactly. Bangers is kind of interesting. So duck, trudge, bangers. I much prefer bangers over trudge. Just kind of chilling. Okay, they saw me. That's okay. Let's go ahead. Oh, a laptop too. Hey, duck. Let's go ahead and get these two objects. It's awkward. I don't have a great way of doing both of them. I can try. No. Duck left us alone for a second, which is good. I'm going to rotate down so I can fit it under the door. Take it in. To stand it up. Good, 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 good. Now I'll get the box. I personally kind of wish that they had a button for the extraction so it didn't just automatically trigger. It's possible that this will be added as a quality of life thing, but for now it is not. And so you must be very quick. If you didn't know, the box damage effect, or like little creature damage inside, triggers based on if the box is tilted the wrong direction. So you want to keep the arrow up. If it gets like sideways, it'll start damaging itself, which is really bad. Thanks to the person in the comments who told me about that, because I didn't realize that it was determined. I thought it was random. Take this through, and I'm going to do the following. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to... No. Boom. And again, the drone will be fine. As long as it's not caught on the edge, it'll be just fine. There we go. And we have our money bag. Again, same rules apply. I'm just going to quickly put it in and carry it to the cart. I could have grabbed the cart and pulled it back, but there's no real need to since I have the drone. How'd you get there? So bombers have a pretty long fuse. You'll hear them light up, and then you'll hear a second light sound effect, which happens when they're right about to blow up. So you can kind of just wait or walk around, listen for the sound effect, and then run. And you'll avoid... I don't know what that was. That was the door, actually. And then you'll be able to avoid the explosion. If you want to throw them into a pit nearby, you can, but we're early level, and we don't have any right now to work with. So, easy enough to deal with. I'm going to quickly get a little charge on my drone. Not too much. That'll be enough. One major difference between this game and Lethal is that energy and health are a resource that cost money. You don't get a free full heal at the end of the day, nor do you get infinite recharges for your items. It costs money, and so valuing your efficiency with items is important, because you don't want to waste more than you need to. Now, you don't have to do a full clear for every level, but part of it's assessing whether you want to go really far or not. I think just going for level 10, it'll be kind of hard, but you could do the bare minimum for levels, 4, 5, 6, 7, and be okay. It's just that every little bit of money counts towards an upgrade. And so you might end up getting to level 10, and compared to somebody else, you're 4 upgrades behind as a result of not taking every little bit of loot that was on the map. Alright. We did get a really good... Nice spawn. We did get a very good generation. Trudge, Bangers, and Duck is pretty fortunate. Just wait him out. It's okay. The more I play on like high levels, the more my perspective kind of shifts on the lower levels. Because I'm just so used to playing with like 10 creatures always around me. And massive maps with like terrible tiles and pits everywhere and stuff. So it's just so weird to go back to this. But it is kind of calming. It's nice. Let's see if he's... I'm not sure if he went left or right. I want to say he went right. I heard him. Now this is kind of silly, but I might try and use him to blow up the duck. Bangers deal okay damage per explosion, but they are free explosions, and that is valuable. Didn't kill him, but he should be close. Maybe I'll try again, if more spawn. Well. Yeah, they don't deal much per hit, but they can still be useful. Especially for stagger. Grab my card again. I got knocked around because I didn't have stamina. I was accidentally holding it down. I wasn't thinking about it. So when I tried backing away, I had no stamina to back away from. Thankfully I didn't take any damage, but being knocked around is dangerous enough. That's a one-way trip to a pit on high level. If that was a huntsman, I'd just be shot there. If he's chilling doing his thing. You little. I'm gonna open this door out, because I think it's more useful that way. He's coming. I think. Did he spawn? No, he just... Okay, Master of Stealth time. Kind of stealth behind your... Wait, is he going left? I think he is. Nice. I'm kind of stealth behind your cart as you carry it. Which sounds silly, but it's useful at times. Let's go. Nice. Got this big hunkin' thing. It's light enough for us to lift, thankfully, so I don't have to waste any energy on the drone. Now, I'm always told to stop trying to cram everything on the cart, but you can't stop me. I can't help myself. So what if I can't see? Oh. So again, kind of a pain, because we're gonna have to be quick when we put all our items on. Since we have so much stuff. Careful there. Careful. Okay, easy. Nope. It's my mouse acting up again. Forget about the crown. 600 bucks, I don't care. Lost my integrity. Thankfully, this is a downstairs one, so there's no... I don't hear this up anything. But I'm going to put this right here. And I'm going to get that radiology machine first. Because it is in the more precarious position. Now, this thing is pretty fragile. There's a lot of value per hit, so I'm going to try to be careful, but it's rather big. And the ceilings are pretty low on Janik Station overall. Alright. Nice. Then, I'm gonna shift this over, actually. I think I'm gonna rotate. Oops. Like that, to try and make it fit a little better. Then I will go grab the bones, / fossil. Check my sight lines. I don't have huntsmen, so I don't really need to crouch around that corner. Check just in case it spawns around me. Alright. Perfect. Fantastic. I'll grab the drone, why not? Now, I usually try to run back as fast as I can before that finishes, so I can make... so I have as little distance to travel as possible to get back. This time I really didn't. That's okay. Duck angry. Yep. So the duck will get angry if it's damaged after its animation finishes. Will you be safe up here? Oh, probably not down there, though. Watch out, buddy. Maybe you're okay? Uh-oh. Okay, well, he got killed, so that's fine. I can't use that to do anything, but... Oh, I forgot about that object. Whoops. These guys have, like, 3 or 4 health, so, like, a couple slams and, yeah, they'll blow up pretty easily. And enemies are in constant respawn mode during blackouts, so killing a duck or killing a huntsman might give you like 5 or 10 seconds of freedom, and then you're right back to where you were. Duck survived. That's good. So running back helps alleviate a lot of this because the enemies will spawn close to you on the path to the truck. And little enemies like gnomes and bombers will respawn continuously. Because technically they're dying, which then causes them to respawn during blackout, and so it rinses and repeats until the end of time. Same technique as before, listen for the sound effect, and then sprint. And they are none too troublesome. We peek out. He is going pretty slow. I could probably sprint past him and just ignore everything else, because I know it's on the map. But we will hold off. Play it safe, no reason to go risky. Oops. I got knocked a little bit, but that's okay. I avoided damage. Being knocked is pretty scary in later levels because of all the pits that you can fall in, but overall, right now it's fine. And ideally you try to go to a room where there aren't pits, if you know that bangers are following you. Duck might be angry again. Man, y'all are persistent. Hey, Duck's okay. Nice job, buddy. Hey, friend. We're just waiting for the trudge to get... That's not going to help us. Annoying, yes. Trudge is in the way. We made our move. Oh, I forgot the laptop. Oh, my bad. Listen for the sound. Not a problem. Oh, that's messed up, man. Fine. We'll crouch and wait. It despawned and respawned the trudge in the room, so now we're just stuck waiting for him to come up. Those guys are crazy. A shame, but it's easy enough with just these enemies. With sufficient sprint speed and stamina, you can run past the trudge before his attack will hit anyways. It's none too problematic. Nice. Alright, there we go. Level 3 done. And everything looks good, right? Hopefully. Alright, please be good, OBS. I'm praying. So, we got a lot of money from that. Ooh, that's kind of a bad shop. We're missing 4 lots, which just sucks. And we don't have a whole lot of good stuff either. So the shop. Perfect timing. Oh, Trank Gun is great. So, upgrades are really valuable, especially for high level, because there comes a time where there's so many enemies that you're sort of just going to take damage regardless. Like, at least once or twice you'll get hit by something, and that's kind of to be expected. So having a lot of health is valuable for surviving those instances, and just giving you more wiggle room. Extra jumps, I've been valuing more and more. I have 3 extra jumps on my level 12 run right now, and so I can jump a total of 4 times. I can climb almost anything. I can jump over clowns, over robed, I can jump over anywhere where there's a really high ceiling. I am good. I can escape almost anything with that. Strength is a stat that I have undervalued up until now. I'm slowly appreciating it more. I think Feather Drone gave me tunnel vision, because yes, Feather Drone does mean that you don't have to have strength to lift objects, but strength is still useful, particularly for dealing with enemies. As I was talking about earlier, energy and health have a price in this game, and so being efficient is really important. Because say you use a trank gun, you use one shot of a trank gun to throw an enemy into a pit. Your net profit is lower than you think, because each crystal gives you about a full charge for a single item. And so 2 bars of your trank gun is about 40% of a crystal. And at high levels, crystals cost upwards of 20 to 24k. So 40% of that is like $8,000 just to kill an enemy with that trank gun. Strength at high enough levels allows you to lift up and just swing around enemies, smaller enemies, without needing to use any tranks or any stuns or anything at all. Upscreams, rugrats, spewers, potentially more if you get really, really high strength. And so it is good. And I think eventually, assuming the game lets you scale strength more, like without a cap, just a price increase, you could get to a point where your strength is so high that the Feather Drone is essentially useless, because you can lift objects with or without it just as well. Now, that's far into the future. That's like, 10 plus, 15, 20 plus. But just saying that strength is useful to invest in, and investing early can help you deal with enemies that would otherwise be pests. Rugrats are terrible. You have like 2 or 3 on a map, it's like run ending if you don't have any items to deal with them, because they'll just throw all your loot and they'll kill you or destroy your items or both. And it's awful. So don't underestimate strength. It is very, very good, even if you have Feather Drone already. Extra jump is hard to... I mean, we have a lot of money because we went for everything in the map, or everything that was big. But it's hard to invest in early because it seems so mediocre. And to be fair, I think that only 1 extra jump is kind of whatever. When you have 2 is where it starts to get good. And then 3 is like really, really good. But just 1 is meh. Anyways, trank gun. I've always emphasized last part that you want to get 2 things in the shop. Trank gun and Feather Drone. Feather Drone first. Getting that now is really good. Feather Drone's essentially a free kill against any enemy besides Trudge. Trudge just has too much health to deal with. You can combo Trank Gun plus Feather, and then beat an enemy against the walls or the floor to kill them in 1 cycle. This applies to Robed, Huntsman, Mentalists, anything you can think of besides Trudge. Trudge takes 2 cycles, or 2 shots to do it. So I want to get Trank Gun for sure. Unfortunately, I can't see how many crystals I have, but I believe I have 2. So I could buy another one to feel a little safer. They're 9k. I'm okay with spending that. And then other than that, a health kit is not a bad idea to invest in either. I think I might go a medium, and I'll go a large. Then I'll spend the rest on upgrades. I love extra health. We can't reach any important thresholds yet, other than one more. Headsmen deal 50 damage per bite, and so having 160 allows us to survive 3 instead of 2. Or survive 3, and yeah, survive 3 instead of 2 at 140. And then I will buy strength. Just 1 is meh for now, but it's still good. We have 2 range, which is fine, I think. I'm going to get these stam. They're 3k each, because I bought 1 already. But it's still a good price. And having 80 up from 50 is a pretty big deal. And then I will buy another stamina. And I'll buy an extra jump. I'll invest now, so that it's good later when I see more of them. This is sort of what you want to end up being able to do in your shops. You want to be able to get an item or 2 that you want, maybe some healing, and then buy a ton of upgrades. If you could buy every upgrade in the shop, that's great. I could if I walked back on the energy crystal and some med packs, but I do want those for sure, just in case. So I think I'm happy with what I have. I'm going to go ahead and click save. Roll drone? I mean, it just sort of makes you roll. Honestly, you can kind of use it to roll, and then you aim with your mouse, weirdly enough. It is pretty fast, and you do count as like a projectile, so you can hit enemies and deal damage to them and knock them over potentially. But I would say overall it's not that great. You can use it on items too, in combination with the indestructible drone, which looks really silly, particularly on bigger items. But again, not very useful, because most of them won't be able to roll through doorways. You'll have to carry it yourself. And duck. Duck is cool, but I haven't found a good way to use it yet. It is really fun though. And it gets worse on harder maps because there are so many pits for it to just bounce into. Alright, let's go. Tumble launch, I haven't talked about much. I just have to spend more time with tumble launch to understand how valuable it is. This is a good sight right here. This is what you like to see. That's a good buff right there. 3 health, 4 stamina, extra jump, 2 speed, 1 strength, 2 range. We will put you in 3. We have an extra crystal, so we have 3 energy. And we're going to charge this up a little bit. Perfect. I could carry a medkit on me for safety, and I think I'm better off doing that because I have only 160 health. So I will go ahead and relax. Now for level 4. Level 4 is your first 3 extraction level. So let's see what we get. Maybe a manor. I'm feeling a manor. It's your first 3 extraction level. There it is. And so that can be kind of scary. Manor is, of course, in my opinion, the hardest of the layouts because it is just so narrow and so many tiles that it is very brutal. We have a pretty high level 4. We have 21k, so about the same as our level 3, but with 1 extra extraction point, which is a lot of money. You can already see just so much stuff in this one room. 1 strength, helping us out a little bit. I'm going to open the door. I have range, so I can be farther back when I do. Don't see anything. I'm going to open this. I'm going to open that door. I see a harp immediately. That's good. Check the room layout. I have a lot of loops coming up. I have a dead end on the right. I think I'm going to have a extraction in that room on the left. And then an extraction in like the top right as well. That is my current estimation. Check another peek. Again, enemies tend to spawn far from you. These doors are not open yet. They're presumably going to be in the top right somewhere. That is a-okay. So I can... If you hold on a spewer and scroll your mouse wheel out to keep them at distance, you can prevent them from getting on your head. At higher strength, you can just slam them around to kill them, period, which is net loot. Not much. Spewers are like 2 or 3k, like duck. But, still free money. Take free money. Now again, I'm a little concerned because I don't know what I have yet. I have a spewer. Could have Huntsman too. Huntsman on Manor is pretty scary. So I'm checking my map. And I'm going to go ahead and take Harp back to get it out of the way. Check again, just in case. This is so... The angle is so weird. Yeah. There we go. And items do kind of like droop. Weirdly. Angle it in. Angle it back. I'm not a fan of this long hallway as the final tile. It's going to be a real pain for later. But so be it. Perfect. It's just nicely. We head back. I will take this out. Check my door just in case there's something coming by. I'm going to move this. I'll just keep it here. I think that's fine. I'll push it into the door. Enemies don't come into this little room much, so I'm at less risk of them hitting it because it's in the way. Look up here, don't see anything. I could walk along this edge, I don't have to jump. I see a doll, I see a vase. Both are pretty valuable. I can take this. This is where range is very handy. Alright, well, it hit the drone, which dealt damage to it, which is pretty frustrating, but... I have a Reaper. He's trying to jump and reach me, but he can't, which is very funny to me. Right, these guys aren't playing nice, so we're gonna set this onto the stairs if I can. Okay, I couldn't. That's okay. Not great, but so be it. There's an upscream. I don't have quite enough strength to lift him. Upscream is really scary later on because they can just throw you into pits. So upscream, spewer, Reaper. I will probably have one more enemy as well. They probably came from the right. You can actually see on the map if a door is open or closed. And you can see the door on that little like T tile up there, that little cross is opened. They likely came from that room. Just more map knowledge that's really, really handy. That the game is very generous to give us. I don't hear them. That's fine. Alright, well, that extra little bit of money loss was kind of... painful. There we go. Perfect. So dolls, you scroll out to keep them from getting close to you. They do deal damage to pretty much everything that will come into contact with. This includes enemies, players, and other loot. It is pretty depressing, but it is what it is. Ideally, you get them first, but you can't always do that, because you can't always predict where they'll be. I know there's enemies around, and I have a good chance, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn this stuff in. It's a pretty hefty chunk of change. I could kill Reaper to get about 7k from him, if I so desire. But for now, I'm going to hold off if I can. It's still an early level. I'd like to avoid having to kill if possible. Yeah, so first, 3 extractions. Again, just a bigger map generation, that's really all it comes down to. Nothing too complicated. We're going to go ahead and look right. I'm very curious about right. Because they went... This door was opened. Got everything down here. Okay. And here, this door's open, so there's nothing. We have a piano. So, here's where it would have paid to check the room first. I should have listened to my own advice, because I would have been able to take the piano and put it in the truck extractor close by. Now I'll have to carry it to wherever other extractor is the closest, which could still be quite far. So, that is unfortunate. But it's also my own fault. Come over and check. Always checking the door. Doesn't seem like I have a huntsman this level, but I'm not going to hold that too close to my chest until I'm certain. So piano is found. It is 31,000, which is pretty low for a piano. They can roll upwards of like 40,000. But so be it. It's also possible that it was damaged by an enemy that came into the room. It would not surprise me. It came from here, so we'll just follow their path backwards. Find an extractor. We have another base. It came from there. They also came from here. We'll go this way first, because it doesn't really loop as much. This door is suspiciously closed. I wonder what that means. Oh, nope, just dead end. That's okay. On occasion, players won't go into doors. There were a lot of paths for them to choose. I don't blame that. Oh. What a surprise. If he's walking past, then we're okay. We're gonna go right. Right will definitely lead to an extractor. We're chilling. Closed door. Extractor. Perfection. This is not terribly far from the piano. It's kind of a straight shot, which is okay. So I still have full trank, which is good. I've got mostly full feather. I will use probably a bar or two getting the piano over here, but I definitely want to get the piano over here. I now have kind of two choices. Do I want to try and find the other extractor, which will be farther away? But I want to try and find that one and do that one first. You can sort of plot out which extractors you do after the truck. And I tried to aim to leave the closest extractor last. That way, on the run back during the blackout, I have the least distance to travel, and I can make the most distance to the truck as the extraction is counting up the money. So hopefully the process is as painless as possible. It doesn't always happen that way, but that is the goal. So I'm going to go ahead and take this back with me and continue on. Because the piano can clear that on its own. And if I do that one first, then I'll have to take more money again the next one. I am going to check downstairs real quick, just in case. Got a little urn. A piano can spawn here, by the way. It's terrible when it does. There's a doll. I may leave the doll for safety, because I don't really want to have it destroy and ruin my loot bag. Might take away more money than it's worth. Get that nestled in there. Let's go. Now it's... Well, let's just see what we got. I guess I'll open these up. Small tip, but you can kind of open both doors at once. So if you grab the left one, you kind of pull right. And if you grab the right one, then you pull left, and it kind of like flings them both. It's a small optimization, doesn't really matter all that much, but it just kind of feels satisfying to do. Check this out. I likely won't explore this that much because I hate these tight hallway rooms. I like to get out of manors as fast as possible. Nothing good comes from being in a manor long. So I'm going to take this door this way to the final extractor. Nothing else I see. A pretty small total map because of all the loops. When you have linear generations, it gets pretty bad. Nice. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. And then we're gonna head back. Why not? We'll go back to the torture hallway. I usually conserve stamina. I do have more to use, or more to spare now, and I have 2 speed. But I still like to conserve just in case. Reaper is deadly if you don't have any stamina. Same with Headsman. There's just no hope. Pop it open. And now we go get the piano. It's just some tight doorways, and pianos don't like to be very cooperative. So I expect to lose a good amount of value on this piano, but that is a-okay. I will just satisfy to satisfy the curiosity. Check what's in this little right cubby. There's nothing. That's fine. Spewer respawned, or I guess despawned, respawned around me. It's okay. Let's now go get that piano. See it on the map. Keep my stamina. I'm in no rush. It can be hard to adjust to a game that doesn't have a timer, like Lethal did with the day and night. But it is worth taking your time and not making risks that could result in just like your death. Alright. Now the big concern about doing this walk and these farther walks with items is just that enemies will spawn as we're doing it and cause problems. A Reaper is bad news. I don't have an easy way of just stopping and then putting it down and conserving the value. Like, it's probably just going to get torn to pieces. And it kind of likes to droop. fine. As I was saying, exactly as I was saying. Not a time that better. That could have been caused by the piano making a noise when I hit it against something, to be fair. Items do make noises when you do that, which can attract enemies. A perfect example of why I would have liked to take this back to the truck. Much shorter distance. And a good example of why you want to scout the maps first. I should have scouted, but I didn't. Alright, well there goes piano value. And I'm kind of stuck in this. You can get like stunlocked pretty rough by these guys. Not like stunlocked, well... My piano? Is he stuck? I think he's stuck. My piano, man. I'm so sad. Alright, well, there goes that. So yeah, pianos suck. And enemies suck when you're trying to move stuff. The moment you try to, just bad things happen. So now I have, well now I'm down 31,000 bucks for starters. Really bad. That's like, you know, 3-4 upgrades alone. And now I have to spend more time finding other money to make up. Oh hey, statue. I didn't even notice this guy. So that worked out pretty well. Anyways, what was I saying? To make up the money. I'm gonna tilt this guy down. We go right. It hit the stupid thing. We keep going. We do not keep going. While the upstream is down below. The upstream was no longer down below. Run out of juice. You got this, drone. You got this. Perfect. A little bit of damage, but we're still okay. And now we run. Let's get to finish up. We want to cover as much distance as we can toward the truck. It goes off, and we find a hiding spot, ideally very quickly. Guy on the left. Probably a guy down the hall. We wait. I don't know where Reaper is yet. But if I had to guess, he's probably down the hallway. Good. Nasty. This is the nice thing about having done this, because we're really close. We have like one final push. If you wait till the end, it's like 6 final pushes to get to the room, because the respawn despawn mechanic still triggers during this phase. So you end up getting away from them once, and then having to do it all over again, 2 rooms later, and then again 2 rooms later, until you finally make it to the end. It is very painful. Overall, though, a pretty easy round 4. Very good. So, intermediate maps, or intermediate levels taken care of, levels 3 and 4. And then we'll look at our shop, why not? So what do we got? No good items, I'd really say. I'm still learning the melee weapons, but the hammer is really, really bad. It has a rare chance to explode when you hit and deal massive damage, but otherwise, it's useless. Like, it's actually really bad. And the frying pan is also pretty bad. Terrible range, and it doesn't do a lot of damage either. Better than the hammer, but not by much. I think the bat's like the best of the cheaper melees. And then Sledgehammer is really good because it's just kind of like on like a class of its own. So upgrades, we have 78k. Sad that we lost 37 or 31k on the piano, but it is what it is. If you can make 100k per level, you know, levels 4 plus, that's really good. So we don't have any strength, which is really sad. I would have liked to invest more in strength. We do have 2 health for 10 and 12k, which isn't bad. We have range for 16. I'm okay with 2 range for now. We have 2 more stamina if I want to get 100. That's not terrible. I got 3 sprint speed. I've got tumble launch. No extra jump, which is kind of a shame. Overall, kind of a bad shop. So I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to save for level 5's shop, because or level 5 shop, because this is not ideal. That being said, I think health is always good. Health is a buffer for your failures and mistakes, and RNG as well. It is a very important buffer. 200 won't really do much for us, but 220, the next upgrade, will be very helpful, because then you can survive 2 one-shots in a row. What else? I will go ahead and buy these 2 stamina upgrades. I like my stam. And then I'll buy 1 speed upgrade. I like having 3 speed. 3 speed feels pretty good to me. 4 could be really good, but I'm going to hold off for now. I don't see it as being necessary. I've got 3 energy already. I don't feel the need for more. I don't really like shockwave items. They don't do a whole lot for me personally. Grenade also kind of meh. I have trank gun. So I think I'm going to hold off and just leave it at that. That being said, things to look for in shops. The indestructible drone is still pretty good. The shotgun. I couldn't have afforded it this time, but if you can afford it and you do get the shotgun or sledgehammer opportunity, very good weapons. Takes practice for the sledgehammer. Shotgun's pretty self-explanatory to shotgun. It'll one-shot, I think, everything aside from Trudge, because that guy's an absolute unit, but very good. Shotgun also uses 2 bars of energy per shot, like Trank. It's sort of an upgrade to Trank, in a way. And I think that's everything to cover for levels 3 and 4. So a lot of the same concept. Again, bulky valuables start popping up more and more. So from then onward, you'll be seeing it. Use your map, like on levels 1 and 2. Scan, look for doors opening, doors closed, which direction they came from. Track what enemies you have on the map, and just kind of adjust to the slightly larger map scales. Level 5, I would say, is like intermediate plus or medium plus difficulty, but we'll cover that in the next part of this. Either way, thanks for watching. I hope this has been helpful and or has given you a little bit more insight into how I operate when I do solo runs, and I guess how I've gotten to where I've gotten level 12 so far on solo. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.